What is up, everybody? It's your boy Duty back again with another video. And that's right, folks, it's your favorite segment, my favorite segment, everyone's favorite segment, where we take a look at the financial data for DSP Gaming, DSP Reacts, and DSP Throwback, folks. And we do so to ensure that, one, the business is in the black, two, hold Pig Roach accountable, but most of all, to laugh at Phil's financial woes. That's right, folks. And yeah, as you guys know, our boy Phil was in a panic this week. Apparently, the business is hit rock bottom to the point that he actually put away his tisms, his OCD, his ADHD, and actually changed the schedule on the fly. Now, we know that Phil over and over again has stated that I can't change the schedule on the fly because it'll upset my dents who expect a certain game to be played, and if I change it, they'll get all upset and won't support and won't finance my my gambling addiction. We've heard it over and over from Phil, but apparently things got so bad that he finally bent the knee to OIC and said, "I'm sorry, my master. I will change the schedule and play whatever you want." So much so that he decided to even play Hell Divers 2, a co-op game where, of course, Phil has no friends, and we know Phil doesn't like to expose himself for the loser that he is. But again, desperate times call for desperate measures, and he had to whip out Street Fighter because it sounds like, excuse me, not Street Fighter, Hell Drivers, because it sounds like no one really cared about Street Fighter, no one cared about Final Fantasy VI, and no one really cares about Elden Ring. So let's whip out a game that's 2.5 months old, where the hype has kind of died down, and let's see if that appeases my master OIC. So anyway, let's get into the number, folks. As you guys know, the work week was 6 days. I'm sorry, and spanned from March 29th all the way to April 3rd. And for the work week, Phil managed to pull in $1,150 compared to $1,132. Now, that's not a significant increase. Man, that's just a tick up from what he received last week. And this week, he went full press court on the dents. He was like, dude, I need money. He did the pity beg. He even changed the fucking schedule. And what did that get him? That got him an extra $18. Man, that's pretty pathetic, Phil. But again, like I always say, there's not more money. There's never more money. There's a pot of money between 5 or 6 dents that get spread around, and that's it. That's all they have. And if these whales, if Phil catches them during a low cycle, let's say when the disability checks have died out, then he's shit out of luck. If he catches them early in the month, and he can force them to open the Velcro wallets, then he's good. But man, after all of that shit, begging, changing his, putting the tism aside and changing his schedule, he made an additional $18 more. It's pretty fucking pathetic, Phil. Now, Super Chats, this Super Chats have been abysmal all year, and it's been abysmal for the last 2 years. But he did have an uptick. Not significant, but an uptick. So this week, he made $278 in Super Chats, compared to last week where he made $166. So that's an increase of about what, that's an increase, of $122. So he did get some additional super chats, more super chats. Now, a lot of this were dollar tips by Canadian Kirk and trolls. Now, I don't like to tell people how to spend their money, especially detractors and so on, but I don't think it's a good look for you to give Phil money. You can troll him tons of different ways. Giving him $1 every time just doesn't make sense. All you're doing is just lining his pocket. And I understand that $1 isn't much, but if Phil gets, let's say, 50 to 70 troll tips a week, that's $70 right there, folks. So you guys may want to reconsider your strategy. You can LARP him. You can get his attention other ways. There's no reason to give this pig any money. But anyway, I digress. So for the grand totals for the work week, Phil made $1,428, which isn't bad. I mean, for most people, that's not bad at all. But of course, for Phil, that's about average for him. And then for the prior week, if we look at the prior week here, For the prior week, it looks like he made $1,298. So he had a net increase of $130, $130, which of course most of that he won't see to the end of the month because that's going to be in his YouTube check. So the funds for WWE champions is going to be mighty low. Especially also the fact, don't forget, his anniversary is coming up. And our boy Phil has to save a couple pennies to make sure that he either buys Cat, some extra DoorDash, some extra sushi, or maybe a candle, a Yankee candle for her smells. So Phil, gotta be careful, Phil. You can't just go wasting that money on WWE champions. You need to make sure that you have enough for your wife. But I'm pretty sure you'll do the business of, Yankee Candle, we're gonna drive 5 miles away to the one that I know is closed, and then act stupid. And he did that a few years ago, by the way. He drove 10 miles away this was for Cat's birthday. A little lore here. A couple years ago, for Cat's birthday, this was, I believe, the Burger King situation here. So he was supposed to take Cat to Yankee Candle so that she can buy some candles. And if you look at if you know where Phil lives, and it's pretty easy to know where he lives, he has a Yankee Candle literally about 2 miles away from his house. He decided to drive 10 miles away and go to a Yankee Candle that was closed down. And then he sat there and opened, went to the store and looked at his wife and said, "Oh, they're closed down. I didn't know. Oh, well, I'm sorry that happened." And this was also, I believe, the infamous Burger King story where he convinced his wife, "Hey, let's not go to dinner. Let's just go have some Burger King. It's just as good." And the chicken sandwich saga story that still Phil talks about to this day. So unless, he decides to do that and try to gyp her of an anniversary present or dinner, Phil better make sure that he doesn't use all that money for pools. Put some aside, Phil, seriously. Okay, so let's look at the monthly totals here, folks. So as you can see here, for the month so far, April, he made $626. It was actually a pretty good start because it's only for 2 days. For March, he finished out making $5,629. There was a little rally here. So he did make more in March than he did in February and January. And if you look at the grand totals, he's so far at $17,289 for 3 months and 2 days of work, air quotes work. Now, let's look at his views. Now, this right here is just, this is damning, folks. Seriously damning. So for the month of March, Phil pulled in 376,000 views for DSP Gaming. That's like 120,000, 130,000 less than what he normally pulls in. You see the comparison between March, February, and January. DSP Reacts, which he just all but abandoned that channel. He got 15,000 views compared to 39,000, 43,000 in the previous months. DSP Throwback, he saw a slight bump here. And this is because he started doing the React videos on Sunday nights. So he got a bump there at 31,000. So he had a 6,000 view bump for the month. For the grand total here, folks, Phil got 422,000 views on 3 channels. Let's recap, folks. This is a man who has over, if you total all the 3 channel subscribers, you're talking about like 250,000, almost 300,000 subscribers. Let's say 300,000 subscribers across 3 channels. And he can't even fucking pull in 500,000 views. 422,000 compared to in February where he pulled in 562,000. This is the new norm, folks, and this isn't changing. Viewership is fucking dead. And I don't care what he tries to do. I don't care what gimmick he tries. I don't care if he tries the tie gimmick. I don't give a fuck if he tries playing Helldivers and every co-op game out there. It doesn't fucking matter. Even if Fat Cat decides she wants to co-op stream every day, it's not going to help you, Phil. No one cares. Your viewership, everything is just down. And a lot of this too is because there are other avenues to watching your content, you know, and mostly detractors. You know, they can go see Raw Phil, they can see Raw DSP, they can go to Dark Days Mirror. There's tons of people out there that stream you, Phil. So you don't even have to. We don't even have to go to you to get the actual fucking views. So yeah, Phil, 422,000 is fucking abysmal. Just for comparison, your boy Duty this month for March pulled in 1.56 million views. One channel, Phil. One channel, 1.56 million views. And why are you saying, Duty? Why are you talking about views? Well, views equate to multiple things. Views equate to income. I don't care what anyone says. I don't care what Phil says. The less views you have, the less ad revenue you get, the less attention you get to your channel, which means less people are there to support, less people are there for your streams, which means the opportunity to get a tip or a super chat or a super thanks is decreased. So you keep thinking views don't matter, Phil. You keep thinking that, pimp. Go ahead and keep thinking that and think that you allowing your fucking channels to just die like this, to wither, is perfectly fine. You really better get on fucking top of that, Phil. Because you're going to eventually be at 200K. And 200K for 300,000 subs is not even fucking one view per sub. And that's fucking pathetic, Phil. Pathetic. All right, let's look at the year, folks. For 2024 so far, Phil's managed to make $13,385 in tips. In Super Chats, he made $3,904 for a grand total of $17,289. Now, if you compare that to 2023, where Phil made $19,112 for the same time period, if you compare the two, Phil is off by 10%. His net decrease in income year over year is 10%, folks. And it looks even worse when you compare it to 2022. So again, Phil made $17,289 for 2024 so far. If you compare that to 2022, which wasn't a long time ago, Phil made $26,432 for a net decrease of negative 35%, folks. He's not getting under 30. I'm sorry, just not happening. And I don't care what Phil tries to fucking tell you. He tries to say he's a successful businessman. Nah, nobody's buying it, Phil. I'm sorry. I'm definitely not buying it. And you better come up with a new strategy, pimp. You better come up with a new strategy. Because Helldivers 2 co-op with 0 friends is just not cutting it. Watch, pretty soon he'll start doing community nights. He'll bring that back. When he gets super fucking desperate, he'll whip out the community night. Maybe he'll do Hellblazers community night, and he'll play with some of his fucking dents like Jade and other people that like to play games. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Peace out.